And tonight on the ABC News, OJ Simpson kills one more person. Oh my god, I can't believe it. OJ kills another person? I didn't know Minute Maid orange juice could kill people. I guess what happened here was that someone poisoned the OJ and, killed somebody. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time on ABC, the horrible news in the whole world. Thank you. Well, I hope you liked how I did my commercials. I'm gonna be a star. I've always been a star. I just have to go to Hollywood, and then I'll just, everybody would be like going, oh, I want your autograph. Oh, I want your autograph. But anyways, see you later. Adios. Ciao.
Hey folks, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's ramen time. That's what we're doing here. That's why we're a little bit late. Had to organize the ramen here because for some reason it's the 50th anniversary. Well, not 50th anniversary of anything. It's the 50th episode celebration extravaganza of our little OJ Simpson thing we do here every Thursday, our chill stream. And for some reason we decided that it should be a ramen party of some sort. Why? We decided that last week. Why exactly did we decide that?
I think I just started talking about ramen, and you mentioned that it was going to be the 50th episode, and we should do something special. And everybody in chat was discussing their favorite ramen, variations. So it just kind of went together.
Okay, well, that seems reasonable to me.
Worked for me too.
I'll have to take your word for it because I frankly don't remember. I just remember we decided it was going to be a ramen thing, and I've been excited about it for the whole week.
Well, I can't remember if this is the first time I've had ramen at 6 a.m, but it's not a bad time to do it.
No, see, that's a thing with me, and I'm sacrificing my body to the chat. I'm doing this for chat because I just have this thing. I cannot eat ramen after like 6 o'clock at night, or I just my stomach just does not like it, and it's like the equivalent if you ate a bunch of Taco Bell and then ran a marathon. It's just icky.
Well, ramen does have that effect where like it's very sodium laden, and if you eat it like as is, like with the packet and the whole thing, then you might have a bad time. You might feel like just like a desiccated sponge. But
I hate to be a man and interrupt you, Chandler, but
by all means.
You're not done yet. Let's see. I just wanted to say, if anybody's watching this on replay, if you want, go to about the 15-minute mark. That's probably about where we're going to start the stream. Right now, we're going to be talking about ramen probably for 10 minutes. And now, any of you that want to get all those super chats out of your system, right now is the time to do it while we're chatting. Right. So I'm sorry. You may continue, Chandler.
I don't remember what I was saying. Exactly.
I'm sorry.
I think I was just saying, like, if you eat ramen, like the way that you used to in college, and you just like pour hot water over, the noodles with the little packet, and you do that whole thing, you're going to get a ton of sodium. But if you make your own broth, like I did, you might avoid all of the saltiness, and you might be able to kind of like do it your own way. So,
if you make ramen the way I do, you get all of the sodium of the packet, plus the amazing amount of extra sodium-y, salty things you put into it. Well, I guess to start our little extravaganza here, why don't you start by telling us, and everybody, if you want to like give us your favorite recipes or what you'd like to do to enhance your ramen, you can either put it here in the chat or on Twitter. I made a little post asking people what they put in their ramen. So let us know what you think. And Chandler, tell us about your most favoritist way to make ramen.
Well, so here's the thing. I like trying different variations of ramen. There's actually, before I discovered LawTube, my favorite thing was like food YouTube, like cooking YouTube and culinary YouTube. And there's actually this YouTuber named Lisa Wynn, and she is obsessed with ramen. And she'll go over to her friends' houses and raid their ramen stashes and make all the different kinds of ramen, all the different ways. She even had like a cooking challenge where she like made a whole bunch of things out of ramen, like, like bread made out of ramen noodles, and like, like lots of different, crazy things with ramen. And so I like trying different variations, and I learned from her about these momofuku noodles.
But the
Momofuku
what
is like a
noodles?
noodle
What?
house. Momofuku. It's
Okay.
like it's a noodle house. It's a restaurant.
I'll believe you.
They have it in LA, they have it in New York, and they have really, really amazing noodles. And so they're like really sort of thick. They're like kind of wide and flat, but they're not necessarily like super fried. And so I actually was going to special order those, and I went to a bunch of different grocery stores, and they were out of them at every place. They were out of them on Instacart everywhere that I looked. And so my favorite way to do ramen is to try different kinds each time.
Okay.
But when I make it for myself, what I like to do is I like to make the noodles on their own. I like to make the broth on its own. Usually with like a combination of, I'll do gochujang, miso, tamari. I like to add fresh ginger, fresh garlic. And then obviously like some scallion in there. You add a little mirin, maybe some sesame oil, or like the chili sesame oil, which they were also out of, which it's driving me crazy because that's like my favorite thing, noodles. But it has to be really, really spicy. And then I do the special eggs. You take the eggs, like you do like the soft boiled eggs, you marinate them in mirin and shoyu. And you do that like for a period of up to like, like from like 12 hours to like several days. And then that just like permeates the egg white, and it makes them really tasty. It's like when you go to like the special ramen houses, that's kind of what you get. So you can make those on your own at home. You just like, soft boil a bunch of eggs in advance. You shock them in cold water, and then you.
I would eat Helen Mirren all day long. Just saying.
What? What?
Just saying.
Why are we
still even now when it's 70? When it's got a 70-year shelf life, I'd still Anyway.
Okay, I'm not looking at chat, so I have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm really confused.
Oh no, you said Mirren, and someone said Helen Mirren. I'd say I'd eat Helen Mirren all day long.
Oh no, no. Mirren.
It's a thing. It's an Asian thing.
It's honestly just like sugar, water, alcohol, rice, and salt. That's the whole thing. It's glucose syrup is the first ingredient. It's a sweet cooking rice seasoning. It's also very tasty in certain broths, but
totally not a Russian bot says Momofuku is the name of the inventor of instant ramen noodles. I think it's probably some dude named Doug, but we might disagree.
I imagine that ramen was invented by some stoner dude, although I don't know the food history, so I'll have to get back to you on that. No, but I always have to add an egg. I always have to do like scallions, and then in the bowl that I made today, I added 2 different kinds of cabbages, and then also like some carrot. And then I don't know if my camera is picking that up.
That's a very, very creative looking bowl it's in.
You could probably see it better if I tilted the camera down. But
I
feel
like I see it better if I tilt my bowl over.
As long as if everybody wants to crowdsource me a new laptop, which I probably need anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to ask y'all to do that. When I could just be not stupid and not do that.
Wow. Have you tasted your ramen already?
No, it's been sitting here in front of me this whole time. And I've been waiting to try it. And I feel like it's going to... The idea of eating on stream is like... I've done it before when I've been desperately hungry. But I feel like the sounds that are going to come from the eating are going to... Well, at least we're doing it together. But it's going to be like either like an ASMR kind of thing. Or like, I don't know if this is supposed to be like a mukbang kind of thing. But I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Anyway. I should have put that in the thumbnail. That'll go in the hashtag. So
what, called it a mukbang?
Yeah.
Or called it ASMR because
called it mukbang is the proper pronunciation.
I'm very sorry. I don't know.
Mokta is to eat and bang is room. So mukbang is eating.
Say it again.
Mukbang. Mukbang. It's like halfway between an O and a U. It's one of those sounds we don't have in English.
I can pronounce like one thing properly in an Asian language, and I know how to say. I probably don't know how to say it anymore. My roommate was Vietnamese in college, and she taught me how to say "bon mi," I think. The sandwich.
I don't speak Vietnamese.
Like French roll. Oh, okay. Well, just
I call that a baguette
you live in Asia, so it's the thing.
I speak Asian.
And the cilantro and the bon mi. No.
What's the matter? Don't you speak Asian?
It's in America you call it a banh mi. It's a BAHNMI banh mi sandwich. You do it on a French roll. You do it with like some meat. You do like julienne carrots and daikon, cilantro. Anyway, I'm very passionate about food. People don't really know this about me, but I really love cooking, and I'm really good at cooking. I don't advertise this. I like to keep that secret. No slurping. It is cringe. You can't not slurp. It's impossible not to slurp. You have to slurp. I like to drink the broth. And then
how is it? I'm the opposite. I eat all the stuff and then I drink it at the end.
Oh, you eat the stuff
how is it? How is your taste? How does it taste?
Oh, I don't know.
Your
Okay,
taste,
so
that's rather personal. But
so
I mean, how
this
does
morning,
the ramen taste?
Shut up. I did the chicken bone broth, which I kept separate from my tea. For those of you on Twitter who have been following my adventures of accidentally putting that in my chai tea the other day. No, I did not taste it. I'm not a heathen, and no, Ian, I'm not going to do that even for money. How does it taste? I will find out. But I used bone broth as the base, like a chicken bone broth, and then I added all the other stuff that I mentioned.
All right, get to the tasting.
I don't know. I didn't taste it yet. I didn't taste any of it because it's early.
Taste
so
it.
You know, it's like
Taste
very
it.
savory.
Oh, you're not going to eat it? All right. Slurpy. Uh-oh.
Okay,
Is that
really
good? As she
It's
coughs
spicy.
it up everywhere.
No, it's exactly as spicy as I want it to be. It's delicious. Yeah,
All
that's really
right.
good. That's really, really good. What did you do for yours?
Well, that's what we're. See, I've created visual aids.
Okay.
Like my camera got AIDS is basically what I'm saying. But I seem to have. All right, I have to bring these up again because for some reason I closed it.
And no, I don't have chopsticks, but I will soon. I just you know.
All right,
We were gonna have a ramen
fact.
off. Apparently, I lose for having a fork. So
Fun fact: Koreans use metal chopsticks as opposed to wooden chopsticks because throughout history they've been invaded repeatedly by Japan, who has this thing for burning the forests down, and wood is a very, very valuable resource back in the day. So they just started going to making metal chopsticks, reusable chopsticks too. There you go.
Smart.
Yeah.
Also, I'm fine.
Yeah, it sounds like it. That's how good her ramen is, people.
Not too spicy at all. Yeah, no.
Yes. Woofer says mute buttons are of yesteryear. All right. Kathy Four says, where am I? What did I walk into? It's our 50th episode, 50th OJ episode ramen party. We're going to be starting in just a couple of minutes, about 3 or 4 minutes from now, we'll get into OJ. So if you're just joining us from the, when I said go 15 minutes in, just go another 5. So there we go. All right. For me, what did I do? I did one of the spiciest Korean ramens that are out there. It's called pultak pokum myeon or pultak pokum tang. Pultak is like fire chicken, like really super spicy chicken. And they have like hek dak pokum tang, which is like nuclear hot chicken. the nuclear fire chicken. It's usually just like a stir fry deal where you drain all the water and then you put the sauce in and you just kind of stir it up in the hot pan for about a minute and then eat it. But they've just recently made a soup based ramen out of it, which is the pultak pokum tang, which is spicy, like the fire chicken fried noodle soup. And that's what I did.
I'm taking your word for it that that's what that means. For all I mean, for all I know, it means fried cat or something like that.
Racist. All right.
I'm being deliberately racist. Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't know what it means. Actually, how do you say cat in Korean?
Well, anyway, where are we at here? We need to bring up the. All right. So this is what I start with. Let's see. Let's see if we can embiggen it. Ah, there we go. Okay, up here we of course have the egg. We have some chives here. This is like extra. This is the nuclear hot chicken sauce. It's just death. We have the ramen
what you
back
put
here.
In yours? Did you take this photo? Oh,
yes,
beautiful.
of course I did just now. And this is the soup packets. This is basically like super spicy gochujang, and then there's the powdery stuff over here. A little bit of kimchi, some and see with this you don't need to put the frou-frou ingredients. Ramen is shit food, so you put crappy ingredients and they all come together in this great synergy thing to create something better than the sum of its parts. And so this is cheese stuffed hot dogs sliced up. We have the chives again, a slice of really, really bad white cheddar cheese, some fresh garlic, some fresh onions, some mushrooms, and some sweet potato. You throw it all in boiling water with the stuff that takes longer first, the sweet potatoes and get the garlic thing out there. You put them all in about 5 minutes, then you pour them out, and it leaves you to the base here. This is what my ramen looks like. But then you add a fresh egg to it. And then stir
why
it
does
up.
the egg look like that? Why is it yellow?
What do you mean why? Because eggs have this yellow part inside of them called a yolk.
No, well, I'm confused. Is that you cracked it?
Yes, you just crack the egg straight.
Oh.
Yes, and then you mix it up, and it slowly cooks in the soup, and then you add a slice of the cheese slice right on top. And when the cheese melts, you mix it all up, and then you consume the ramen.
That looks delicious. Now, question about the cheese: is the cheese processed?
Oh, of course, it's just sliced, processed, horrific, plastic white cheddar cheese.
Or is it not white American cheese? It's white cheddar cheese.
It's cheddar cheese.
It's cheddar cheese. Okay, because they have these. I know.
Well, it's cheese like probably chemical product that has some minimal amounts of milk in it. It's whatever processed cheese is.
Well, the thing is, so I'm obsessed with these different like cooking channels on YouTube, and there's this one guy who figured out how to make a higher quality processed cheese. Like that's made out of really, really good cheeses, but then you do this thing where like you melt the cheeses and then you add, I think citric acid and another stabilizer. And then you end up like slicing it the way that they do like the Kraft singles. And so it melts really, really well, but it's better quality. And I'm obsessed with the idea of doing that. It's like very scientific.
And people ask why the noodles are yellow, because they're egg noodles. They're egg noodles for this particular thing. And it's also bright red because it's very, 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 very spicy. So let's kind of jump into it here. That is really spicy, but it's really good.
Yeah, I loved mine. I mean,
because the egg, just the way you put the egg that way and then you put the cheese on top, it kind of makes it creamy and smooth and delish.
I'd love to try it, honestly. Like, I mean, I wish that I wish I could make you a bowl of mine, and I wish we could like
it'll happen someday, Chandler.
You know that thing in like you know what, like, okay, do you remember this in the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with
oh my god,
Gene Wilder?
Okay.
When they put the chocolate bar through the TV and you can you can take a bite and that whole thing.
Yes.
Like, I wish I could just like give you my
Wonka
bowl of ramen and you can try it.
Well, perhaps we'll do it next year at Anime Matsuri or wherever we meet up in real life next time.
Well, I have a theory about why the cheese adds so much.
Okay.
Because I think that the stabilizers in the cheese, when everything is melted down, I think what it does is it kind of changes the texture of the soup itself. It actually kind of brings everything together. In there's like a scientific word for it that I'm not remembering.
Okay, I don't know.
But when you
umami.
Well, it's not really that. It's
I was just throwing out a word so we can get on to OJ as quickly.
It's kind of like in the Big Lebowski when he says, the rug really tied the room together. It's like,
cheese really ties the ramen together.
It really ties it ties the ramen together.
All
but
right.
there's like a scientific reason for that, because there's a chemical in the processed cheese that what it does, you know how like when you use pasta water and you add a little bit of it back to the sauce and it helps bind it to the noodles. It's like that. It actually kind of like changes the molecular structure of the way that all the ingredients sit and it ties them together.
I'm gonna bind you to your chair so that we can get on with OJ after we've hit our 20 we've hit our 20-minute mark. That's our ramen celebration. We'll eat our ramen as we go along with microphones predictably and hopefully muted, at least on my end.
I will mute, I promise.
Ellen Walsh says, League of Vices, was that terrifying or was it not? You know what I'm talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about, actually, Ellen Walsh.
That's very mysterious, Alan Walsh. Yeah. I don't know what that refers to. I think I need a little extra broth to keep this hot. I'll be right back.
You go do that while I read these here. And JKD Buck 76 says mulningmen is my favorite. Mulningmen is like buckwheat noodles, like cold buckwheat noodles in like a watery soup. I like just stirred up with no water. It's just the regular the mixed buckwheat noodles. Catherine, holy crap, fancy ramen. See, my ramen is just fancy because it's just generic little ingredients, but they all come together synergistically. Woofer, Jeff is the purveyor of all things Asian. Slurp or no slurp, asks Clifford. With ramen, you have to slurp. If you don't slurp with ramen, you're just kind of, other than. The ramen is ramen should be slurped. But been there, done that, says no slurping. It's cringe. And Ms. K. Griff says, Kaiser Pineapple, I can't do the slurping sounds, lol. Well, Ms. K. Griff, I'll take care of the slurping sounds for you. All right, with that, the last thing we're going to do here, before we jump in, get a very, very old Korean ramen commercial. Someone has done a parody of it recently, or like they've redone the commercial. But back in the day, this was an old ramen commercial that was incredibly scandalous. This ramen commercial was actually banned at one point. It had a very, 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 very short run. But now someone's done a parody version of it. But here is this is the very last thing we'll do. Then we'll jump into OJ, the banned old Korean ramen commercial.
나 지금 바빠.
I'm busy.
감동적이었어요.
나 막 울었잖아.
Unrealistic. She did not put her hair up in a ponytail. I feel like that would have been. It was pretty good though.
Yeah, so that was that had a very, very short run on TV back in the day, and it was promptly removed. But yeah, that's the end of our little ramen party here. Now we just got to eat it before the noodles expand. So there we go, and we do have one super chat, the first super chat of the day. Hopefully not the last super chat of the day. Extremely happy Simmer. Thank you so much for the $5 for our OJ 50th celebration. When Chandler gets back, ask her if the word she was looking for was emulsify.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. Thank you for that.
Emulsify.
Emulsify.
Please, could you please use that in a sentence? Emulsify.
If you want to,
I was just doing a spelling bee.
If you want to emulsify your ramen, then you should put a slice of cheese in it.
There you go. All right, folks, it is episode 50 of our OJ Simpson weekly chill stream. There, by my estimation, is after today 3 more weeks, and we'll be done. Next week, I swear to God, we will wrap up Mazzola. Then we'll do closing arguments for both sides, and then we'll just do the verdict, and we're done. Then we're going to start a new trial. So about a month from today, we should be on a brand new trial, a super secret trial that we're not going to talk about until it happens. It was Chandler's idea. Chandler recommended it. And all I will say is Barry Scheck was the defending lawyer in that case. So there'll be more Barry Scheck coming up.
I was going to say that people couldn't possibly guess, but they might be able to now. So
I've already. Well, don't encourage them. All right, folks.
Yeah. Well, he has tried a lot of cases, so it might be hard.
Not on TV. So here we go. This is what's her face? Mazzola. What's her face? Like we haven't seen her every day for months on end. Okay,
oh God,
folks.
I have a dilemma. Wait, hold on before we do this.
What's your dilemma?
I might need to actually put my hair up into a ponytail. So
Uh-oh. There you go.
For only ramen eating purposes.
Yes. Unlike the hussy in the video.
Who definitely got soup all over everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not a smart move. You want to put your hair up for sure, ladies.
All right. Here's Ms. Mazzola. They've just returned to court after, I believe it was a lunch break. So here we go. Again, thank you for kicking us off with that wonderful, amazing super chat. We are now 95 away from Doggo Cam. Let's go. Oh, no, don't want to do that. Luckily, we're at the very beginning of this video, so it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter if I don't turn on the volume, huh?
Good afternoon, Ms. Mazzola.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hi.
Hi. Ms. Mazzola, right before lunch, I asked you a series of questions.
See, they're
about
having
what
lunch
you
too.
said and was said to you at a meeting held on November 22nd, 1994, at which investigators from the district attorney's office and your boss, Michelle Kessler, were present. Do you recall that?
Yes,
And you recall having that meeting with those people?
I remember
Yes.
meeting with those people. Yes.
Oh, yes,
And
she,
at
she
that
has
meeting,
this
there was
habit of
discussion
not
about your
remembering
involvement in this
anything the
case.
defense
It's one of the
wants
things
to
that
know
was
about.
discussed.
Well, we've been over this. We've been over this.
Ms. Mazzola, I'd like you to simply look at this item.
And he was chastised in our last episode for mispronouncing her
Certain
name.
things that you said.
Mazzola.
I'd like you to begin reading this portion of the transcript here. All the way
You may.
to-
I thought he just corrected himself.
Well, he said it had been brought to his attention. And he
Oh,
didn't
I
mean
wonder-
any disrespect.
I wonder who brought it to his attention.
Probably Marcia.
Marsha.
What's up, Straubs? Come on, Mazzola, read faster. Mazzola. I see. Well, he's like the most New Yorkie of New Yorker Jews that you could ever see, the way he pronounces things.
It's very Long Islandy, I think. Or is it? I don't know. I don't know the borough
Now-
dialects.
During that meeting on December 14th, you didn't tell the detectives, did you, that you realized on the morning of June 14th that you had unknowingly carried the blood sample?
Okay, but this is what she did. If you don't recall, she put a couple of pieces of evidence that the glasses from the male victim and something else, another envelope, swatches, I think, in a black trash bag, which she took to the evidence room, put it on the evidence table, didn't check it in, didn't do anything, just left it there at room temperature on the table all night long. And then she was shocked to find out the next day that OJ Simpson's blood vial had been in there, unaccounted for, unregistered, unrecorded, and left all alone all night long on the evidence table. So that's what they're talking about when they say, unbeknownst to you, there was more evidence in there. The blood vial was in there. But unbeknownst to me, extremely happy Simmer has gone insane. Saying "Odi doko isayo." That should be doggo, I suppose. Good approximation, but it's awfully close to asshole too. That's actually very close to how you would spell asshole. It's almost like these little circly things here, like the little circly letters. If you put one of those underneath the 1, 2, 3rd set of characters, then it becomes asshole. But so where are the dogs?
Fun fact.
We've just unleashed Doggo Cam, which means we also have Shot Cam. Oh yeah, spicy scotch with spicy ramen. This is gonna go well.
I'm sorry, spicy scotch.
Yes.
Is it spicy on top of being
Well,
alcoholic? Or?
No, that's where the spice comes from. The alcohol
gotcha.
burn. There we go. Oh, thank you so much. Extremely happy Simmer. And
That is
it
very
seems like as
generous.
soon as that came in, the dogs effed off to the other room. So I will go herd them over this direction once we get going. Thank you so much. That's a very, very large pour. Thank you for the woo. That tastes really great with that ramen. Hot spicy. Which reminds me, tomorrow, F Friday. Don't miss it. Thank you again. We'll just give you another big honk because that was incredibly generous of you. I bet that's what it sounds like when Mazzola blows her nose. Okay, that was really rude of me. All right, let's go.
Wow.
That was horrifically rude of me. I should be ashamed, but I'm not.
I mean, it could have been a Jew joke, which would have been maybe a little bit worse, but you didn't.
Yeah, no, yeah, that would be yeah. Let's go with Mazzola. I will herd the dogs over here. No, been there, done that. Hung moon. That is like the medical term. That would be anus or sphincter. I'm talking like asshole.
Wait. It's similar to dog, or it's similar to what? Which word?
Well, no.
I don't know. I don't understand.
This is way too much information. I mean, we don't need a linguistic lesson. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of Rockingham in a trash bag, did you?
All right.
December 14th?
Hey, who you calling a trash bag?
June 14th. Sorry.
I'll be right back with the
November
dogs.
22nd meeting.
Restate the question. Restate the question.
Isn't the fact that during the November 22nd meeting with the investigators from the DA's office and Ms. Kessler, that you didn't tell them that you realized on the morning of June 14th that you had unknowingly carried the blood sample out of Rockingham in a trash bag?
I was like, that's not how you spell cloaca.
Sustain.
But I don't know how to. Okay, thank you,
Well,
Boosh. That
Didn't
is the
you
correct
tell
spelling.
the detectives that you could only assume that Van Adder had come up and given the vial to Dennis Fung because you weren't there then?
It's irrelevant.
Anyone?
At that meeting on November 22nd, in response to a specific question from Michelle Kessler, quote, "Did you ever handle OJ's vial of blood?" unquote. Didn't you answer her no?
I object to that answer.
Overruled.
I honestly cannot remember what I said at that meeting.
Having shown you this portion transcript, does it refresh your recollection?
It doesn't. I'm sorry.
Hi.
Hello.
In the discussion you had on November 22nd with the detectives and Ms. Kessler, were you deliberately trying to distance yourself from the whole subject of what happened to Mr. Simpson's blood vial?
All right. I need to see what's
No.
going on here. Hang on.
In fact, when
I need
telling
to
the
check the
detectives
audio.
the extent to which you were involved with the
I have no
evidence
idea how we
since
sound.
the morning of June 13th, did you not tell the detectives during that meeting that, quote, "It wasn't my job to analyze any part of it. I didn't want to know anything about it," unquote? Did you say that to the detectives?
Sustain. Also assumes facts not in evidence. Also misstates the evidence.
Did you say to
Okay, we boosted the
detectives
court
on
volume
June
just a little bit
22nd
to try to
meeting,
balance it out.
Sustain.
putting aside the quotation marks, didn't you inform the detectives
Sustain.
to this entire line, Your Honor?
No, you're asking the wrong question here, counsel.
Did you ever say to the detectives during that meeting?
Extremely happy Simmer says, "Forgive my trash Korean."
Are there any detectives at this meeting, counsel?
I'm sorry.
Don't quote,
Investigators from the district
don't
attorney's
quote
office.
not bar. Okay, still again, the asshole part is spelled incorrectly, but closer. I guess it's saying, "Look at me, asshole dog," or "Look at the dog's asshole." The dog's asshole is looking at me. I'm not sure. Something along those lines. Thanks, I guess.
The meeting on November 22nd, did you say to Michelle Kessler and to District Attorney investigators, senior investigators, Michael Stevens and Dana Thompson, quote, "It wasn't my job to analyze any part of it. I didn't want to know anything about it"?
Overruled.
I hope that's not what it's supposed to say.
I might have.
Having shown you this portion of the transcript, does it refresh your recollection as to whether you in fact did? Would you like to see that portion again?
I see it on the paper, but
I was trying to say, "Show me doggo butt."
The question, counsel.
Yeah, didn't even come close.
I told actually do not remember saying that.
All right, let's proceed.
I make a motion to strike this is answer.
Overruled.
I saw it on the paper.
Overruled.
Now, you testified on redirect examination that the most time-consuming portion of the process of evidence collection is to properly document and photograph the items being collected, as opposed to the actual physical collection. Is that correct?
Yes,
And two of the items that you collected late in the day were items 15 and 16. Do you have those?
203 and 204.
Oh my God, this is not how you finish strong, dude. Come on, have your shit together. Let's go.
I ask you to please reopen prosecution's exhibit. Doesn't have a number on it. I'm sorry, number is
203 and 204. 203 being item 15, 204 being item 16.
In case any of you are joining us, just wondering what's going on here, Chandler and I are having a little ramen party to celebrate the 50th episode of our OJ Simpson trial stream. And this is really spicy. I love it. Ooh.
All right, the witness has cut through the sealing tape on the envelope.
Mine isn't as spicy as it could be.
And could you please
I'm glad you're enjoying yours.
examine what you've listed?
Mine
as
is
item
spicier
15?
than it should be.
And it's an airline ticket, correct?
Thank you, Smopo Vienna.
it appears to be yes.
And just so there's no surprise about it, it's a used airline ticket, is it not?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think it's kind of irrelevant.
Yes.
And it has a date on it, doesn't it?
Let's see.
Does that have the date of June 10th on it?
A return flight, yes.
And it's not, has nothing to do with New York and with Chicago to Los Angeles, does it?
It's best evidence.
Mm.
Overruled. Is there any dispute as to what the airline ticket says?
Doesn't appear to be.
Don't forget we have an airline expert witness on the jury.
Okay.
Oh my God,
By
this
the
is
way,
hot.
item 16. Is item 16 a luggage ticket for the same flight?
I'd have
Just
to
for
check
you.
to make sure it was the same flight.
Give me a little bit of that Helen Mirren. You'll hear slurping noises.
Although you have a layperson reading
Wow.
airline documents.
I got nothing.
A layperson reading airline
Appears to be the
documents?
10th.
Now,
Like, who the fuck can't
before
read an
items
airline
15 and
document?
16 could be collected by you and Dennis Fung on the afternoon of the 13th.
What do you,
Yes,
It
the
had
judge
to
is
be
Asian,
documented,
Judge
isn't it? Just
Ito.
like other items.
I bet he has a ramen party.
Yes.
And part of that documentation process entails photographing
no, that's
them, correct?
racist.
Yes.
And so these items were photographed in their original state before they were picked up by you, correct?
I don't recall if they were or not.
This one's just for you,
Well,
Haley.
If they had been photographed, Ms. Mazzola,
Hmm.
Wow, Jeff.
the first thing you would do
That
is
was
you
loud.
bring over the photographer, correct?
that was
The
just for
friendly
Haley.
photographer.
Correct.
I'll mute
And-
myself now.
The next thing you would do is
Amazing.
you would document the location of the item someplace
Mute
in
your
writing.
brain.
Vague and misstated test places would do.
I can't tell you that. You're the host.
Yes.
Although I am the co-host.
And you would document with,
This is a hypothetical.
Overruled. Proceed.
And you would document the location in writing where the objects are, correct?
Correct.
And you would
Of
make
course
that
we all want ramen.
documentation in your field notes, correct?
Correct.
And then you would take out a photo ID card and you would set it near the object, correct?
Yeah, the ladies know what's
The
up.
forensic photographer to photograph it, correct?
I was talking about these items or hypothetical.
Whoa. We're talking about these two items, correct?
Yes.
Oh, that's a really ambivalent reaction.
Yes.
And you would do that
Yes.
first. You said item 15 was the first one collected?
Item 16.
Item 16 was the first item collected. And
Looking at you too, Danielle.
if these two items were both
We've lost
photographed,
Chandler
they would
and
both
the
be
dogs. What's
photographed
going
prior to
on
the
here?
Collection, is that correct?
Yes.
And all those different steps would occur prior to the actual collection, right?
Yes.
And would it be fair to say that if that happened here, that process takes
There's
anywhere
dog
from
butts
5
for
to
you.
10 minutes? Is that a fair estimate?
In this case, probably less.
Okay, approximately how long, ma'am? It's just as best you can approximate. Do the documentation, to get the photographer, to get the card set up, to photograph them.
Probably just a few minutes.
Few minutes. And then you collect them.
Lobster
correct?
11 says we need
Correct.
ramen
And
reviews.
you collect them.
Otugi versus no.
You said that both
I eat
items
ramen
were
like
handed to you.
maybe twice a year
Yes.
because it is such
And
shit
after
for
they're both
you.
handed to you, you said you
Like here's your life lesson for ramen. Sorry to push pause on this to drag it out longer than necessary, but the first day I got to Korea as a missionary, the mission president said, "You're going to want to eat ramen. It's cheap, it's easy, it's fun, it's delicious. But remember, if you eat ramen and put an egg in it, you get all the nutritional value and benefit of an egg." There is literally nothing good about like straight out of the package. This has 500 calories and 93% of your daily recommended salt intake. And then I've
Only
got
93%.
added.
That's impressive.
There's like 1,800 milligrams of salt in it. And then I've gone and added some sausage, some cheesy sausage to it, and a slice of cheese. And yeah, it's like there's got to be 1,500 calories in this fucking bowl here. Ramen is like the worst thing you can possibly eat, but it's so delicious. Yeah, I eat it like once or twice a year.
I mean, the noodles that I got were the fake organic healthy kind from Whole Foods because I couldn't find the Momofuku ones. And they're not bad, honestly. They're not fried. I don't like the fried noodles because it's just not necessary. I will eat them, but it's just
Would you eat them on a boat? Would you eat them with a goat?
Mm.
Would you eat them here? Would you eat them there? I'm sorry, I went full like Dr. Seuss there for a minute.
I don't know why.
I don't either.
No, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. No.
Do you have to Scotch guard your mustache against various oils that would permanently stain it? Nah, it's like the orange mustache. That's battle. That's like some battle scars there. All right, let's go.
You walked into the kitchen, is that right?
I just walked in the kitchen and made some
I was
ramen.
around the kitchen area.
And is the kitchen area next to the foyer?
Yes.
So you could have been either in the foyer or the kitchen, you're not sure?
I'm not sure which one.
And you remained there for a few more minutes, waiting for a garbage bag. to be
There's one in
produced. Is that
LA.
correct?
I'm not sure how many minutes it was.
Well,
They make my
approximately how
favorite
long was
tonkatsu.
it that you waited in that foyer kitchen area before you got a garbage bag?
It wasn't too long.
Approximately how long? Approximately how many minutes, ma'am?
I wouldn't hazard a guess.
Well, just give us your best estimate.
Maybe 5 minutes or so.
Okay, so you waited there approximately 5 minutes. You received a trash bag, and you said that you then put items 15 and 16 in this black trash bag. Is that right?
Correct.
Exactly.
And
We say
you had a
Vordire
recollection
and
at the
Fourier
same time
in Utah,
of
but
putting the different.
I'm definitely
photo
a
ID
foyer
numbers in the
guy.
trash bag.
I don't think I put those in personally.
Did you see them put in the bag?
I don't recall.
So the photo ID numbers are something that Dennis Fung could have put into the bag after you left the bag on the foyer floor.
Sustained risk.
Ooh, yeah, you can ask the
Well,
question better than that. You're not paying attention. Is it possible it could have been tampered with?
When you-
Yes. By Mark Furman, the horrible racist cop that planted evidence and lied? Yes.
You say, however, that as you sit here today, you don't have a present recollection of ever photographing items 15 and 16?
No, because the detectives were not interested in them as evidence. They just wanted them collected.
Wonder what it was like to sit in on this trial and just watch it unfold.
Pretty boring as shit for most of it. But I enjoyed watching it on TV because it was fascinating.
Just being there.
Court's permission, I'd like to put exhibit number 1107 up on the Elmo.
There was this like triple murder that happened in LA recently. And of course, it happens at the same time that the I-10, there's like a structural fire and I can't get downtown. Like, of course that would happen right now. So rude. Couldn't that guy have just killed his mother and in-law and his wife?
Is it happening right now?
Afterward? What?
The fire and
Oh, no,
murder?
it happened last week. No, it happened last
okay.
week. There was a giant fire that happened on a stretch of freeway that encompassed like, God,
Ms.
like a
Mazzola,
really
do you
large
recognize
stretch.
this document as the
Huge problem for LA.
evidence collection list for Rockingham that day? June
Yeah,
Nobody can
13th.
get downtown
Yes.
from the west side.
This was the list that was filled out by you, correct?
By myself and Mr. Fung, yes.
And do you notice in the first column, it has you're supposed to put in the sample number, correct?
Correct?
And the sample number could be different than the item number, could it not?
Yes.
And so at that point, what you were using as a sample number were ID photo numbers, isn't that right?
Correct.
And the next column says I
One from
period
column
B
A,
period
one
photo,
from
right?
column B.
Correct.
And that column is there so you can indicate whether or not a photograph was taken.
So,
of
oh
the
my God,
object
oh my
before it
God,
was
they're onto me,
collected,
they're
isn't
onto
that
me.
right?
Shh.
Yes.
Look inconspicuous.
Now, I'd like you to look down items 15 and 16 at the bottom of the page. Those are the last two entries you made on that page. You see where it says 15 and 16 at the bottom?
Yes.
And you see the column where it says photo ID?
Yes.
And you checked off that a photo ID had been made for items 15 and item 16, correct?
Yes.
And now that you've seen those check marks for photo IDs for 15 and 16, does that refresh your recollection that in fact photographs were taken at the scene of those two items?
I have not seen any photographs of those two items.
Didn't ask you whether you've seen any photographs of those two items. I asked you whether, by looking at your own field note, and the fact that you personally had checked off photo ID next to items 15 and 16, does that refresh your recollection as to whether or not photographs were taken of items 15 and 16 while you were at the Rockingham residence?
According to the notes, photos were taken. Independent recollection, I can't say.
Well, in fact, those are your check marks. You wrote those check marks in, didn't
Oh.
you, ma'am?
Yes.
Would you have written check marks in the box that says that a photo was taken if a photo hadn't been taken?
Yes, because I lie.
If I had assumed that one had been taken, they would be checked, yes.
Whoa! If she whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Okay, that's a bad thing to say. Would you have put a check mark if you didn't know if you knew a photograph hadn't been taken, or however you phrased that? And she said, if I assumed a photograph had been taken, I would have taken a picture of it. I mean, I would have checked the box. Holy crap.
Okay, playing
Oh, yeah.
devil's advocate though, she might have meant it more like, I assume if a photograph had been taken, then I would
No,
have.
she said if I assumed a photograph had been taken, I would have checked the box. That was pretty straightforward.
Can we hear it again?
We will. Wow. Everybody in chat caught that too. Wow. But before we get there, Adara the Wholesome says, if we could see the Ruby Ridge. If only we could see the Ruby Ridge trial. So sad. Well, that would be good because I would love to see Jerry Spence in action. Extremely happy simmer. I don't know at this point to go close enough. You don't have to send any more super chats, or if I should just keep saying nope, not close enough. Send more super chats.
No, wrong every single time. No, your Korean will never be perfect enough.
Well, this is getting closer, but anyway, you're anglicizing dog. Doggo. It's either gay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Go ahead, chat. Dog is gay in Korean. Yeah. Or 강아지 is like a puppy. But yes, dogs are gay in Korea. Or so either gay or 강아지. So we wouldn't say doko. But anyway, so dokoe, donko. Okay, you got that part right finally. And boyojo. That would be a very, very low informal way of saying show me the dog's asshole.
I don't know why this is the game that is being played this morning, but if it's getting
I don't
money,
either, but yeah.
I'm not going to complain. I'm all in support of Jeff making the biggest grift he possibly can, and I don't know exactly why. It must be because I'm absolutely deplorable. But this is like the lowest, super chatted stream of all of your streams. So hey, I did let it make it rain. Sure.
Well, it's now become the most funded OJ Simpson stream in the history of OJ Simpson streams by a long shot.
Because I'm pretty sure we had a different one that was another one. Yeah, no, it was one when Brandon and and that other who else came in? It was Brandon and somebody else. It might have been Brandon and the Australian guy who drinks a lot.
Lincoln Kane.
Yes, thank you. Oh my God, what's wrong with my brain? Why can't I think of people?
I'm like Hayden, Lincoln Kane, Hayden. Okay, Hayden hasn't sent me $100 super chat.
Right.
So
that really narrows it down. The Australian who drinks a lot.
Yeah, like everybody in Australia, including Voodoo Berries. She's the worst of them all.
The teetotaling Australian, which that's the majority, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that one was like 200 plus, I think. I know you did like 2 shots for that one. That was a banner day.
Well, we're oh my God, we're kind of approaching that now. We're at about 130 now, 120 something now. So anyway, let's get Mazzola off the damn stand.
I mean, you would make an entry in this report about something which you did not factually know to be correct, just because you would assume that it must have happened?
It's argumentative.
Oh, you wanted to go back and hear that again, didn't you? Let's go back here so Chandler can hear her.
Unless people want to.
I'm people, and I want to, so you can hear
it.
So you can hear her say, yes, because the question was very specific, and her answer was very specific.
It says that a photo was taken. If a photo hadn't been taken?
Would you assume that one had been taken, they would be.
Would you say a photo had been taken if you didn't know a photo had been taken?
Independent recollection, I can't say.
Yeah, no, that's
in fact, those are your check marks. You wrote those check marks in, didn't you, ma'am?
Yes.
Would you have written check marks in the box that says that a photo was taken if a photo hadn't been taken?
If I had assumed that one had been taken, they would be checked, yes.
That's a dumb thing to say.
Make an entry in this report
they're not
about something which you did not factually know to be correct, just because you would assume that it must have happened?
It's argumentative. Rephrase the question.
He needs check-like timing with this question. He needs to do that pivot and rephrase thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been it was kind of argumentative, but he better follow it. Don't go on to the next question. Rephrase that.
Yes.
1122.
It sounds like she regularly assumes things in her very important job of not trainee, but criminologist too.
All right, 1122 and 1123.
It is fitting for the department, though. I mean, seems to be the way they do things.
1122, number 1, the perspective shot. Number 1123 will be the close-up shot.
He's not going to
Strawberry, why are you sitting by the door? You never sit by the door. You always sit over there. Because you know the camera doesn't reach over there, huh? You're a smart little doggy. Who's a smart doggy?
She's having a bad hair day. She feels like she looks fat today. I don't know.
So, do you recognize what's in that photograph? Oops.
Oops, didn't mean to show that photograph, sorry.
Do you recognize what's in that photograph?
Guys are buying off that. Go and get some
A little
ramen.
hard to see exactly what it is.
It's a
I am
bench.
happy.
Well,
I'm definitely happy.
Seeing that photograph of that bench, do you have any idea what's sitting on that bench?
Stupid dog.
A warrant? I don't know what.
It's a bench warrant.
I know that item 16 was recovered
Sorry.
from the bench.
But you can't tell from that
Very
picture.
funny.
Not from.
Can you see a card that says 16?
Flux
on it?
says the power went out of my
I see a
desk,
card
but not the rest of the
Right.
office.
Really?
I think
was
that
wondering
means
where
she
you
fell
were.
asleep. She
No,
just
I
fell
think the power
asleep.
went out at her desk and not the rest of her office.
Now I'm going to be showing you when it's 1123, Your Honor.
Boo.
Now, this is a close-up, is it not, of the same shot?
It appears to be yes.
And you now know what the item is?
Yes, it is item 16.
And that's a card next to it that says item 16, correct?
Correct.
Now, having seen the photograph with the card in it of item 16 and the luggage ticket, which is item 16, does this now refresh your recollection as to whether or not you had forensic photographs taken of the items 15 and 16 that day?
I personally do not remember.
I live on the 18th floor of a beautiful condominium on the
I
beach.
collected item 16, yes.
Wait. We're both doing this again. Let him finish answering the question. And Mr. Newfield, 3 times already this afternoon, you've cut her off again.
Yes,
I know you had mentioned
as I said,
that
a condo on the beach. That's where I live.
one of the best ways for you to refresh your recollection is by looking at photographs. Is that right?
In some instances, yes.
I know you said that with respect to the gate, seeing the photograph of the gate did not refresh your recollection that the gate was there. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Well, how about this photograph with item 16 in it, seeing the luggage ticket, which became item 16?
I'll
Seeing
slurp
that
loudly
photograph
for you.
now, does that refresh your recollection about whether this item was photographed by a forensic photographer on the afternoon of June 13th, 1994?
Seeing this photograph, it would have to have been photographed by a forensic photographer.
But it doesn't refresh your recollection as to whether or not you actually saw it being photographed.
No.
You can print that also, I guess. And Ms. Mazzola, you said that items 15 and 16 you put into the trash bag, is that right?
Yes.
And the next day in the afternoon, they were removed from the trash bag
Yes.
by Mr. Fung or by you?
I can't remember which one of us physically removed them from the trash bag.
Do you remember seeing them being removed? Do you have independent recollection as you sit here today?
I was muted during
remember
all of
seeing
that,
them in
was
the
I?
trash bag at the lab. I
I didn't hear a word.
don't remember
What?
seeing them removed.
Well, Ms. Mazzola, showing you the actual envelopes that item 15 and 16 are
I was
in.
saying the dogs usually sit over here. You know, Strawberry sits on the chair by the veranda, and Yoda sleeps on the floor in front of her, or goes off into the
In
living
fact,
room.
Mr.
But they're
Zoll,
both
those
sitting over here on
envelopes-
this side today, where they never, ever, ever,
You
ever
have
sleep.
those envelopes
And because
in
the
your
long
presence
cord
at the time
attached
that
to
item
Doggo
15
Cam
and
shorted
16
out,
were
I have a
photographed
shorter
and
cord
collected.
on that I can't turn around to see where they are.
No.
Is it possible, Ms. Mazzola, just like you don't remember items 15 and 16 being photographed, that you don't remember these envelopes actually being present with you when the items were collected?
Jacob, what are you doing?
Well, Ms. Mazzola,
Oh, you're playing.
you don't know whether it was you or Dennis Fung who removed these two items from the trash bag on the 14th, is that right?
Yes.
Isn't it a fact, Ms. Mazzola, that on item 15, Dennis Fung wrote his initials on it?
Yes.
And isn't it a fact, ma'am, that on item 16, you wrote your initials on it?
Yes.
And isn't it the reason that your initials are on 16 is because you collected 16?
That I packaged 16.
Ms. Mazzola, isn't it a fact that the reason your initials appear on 16 is, as you testified earlier, you personally collected it, you physically picked it up?
Sustained.
Well, so are they saying that
Isn't it a fact,
Mark
Ms. Mazzola, that
Furman
Dennis
removed the
Fung's
blood
initials
vial
appear
from
on item 15
the bag?
because
Oh
he
my
collected
God, I
item
don't remember
15
that.
at the Rockingham house?
That's bad.
He collected 15, but he also packaged 15 if his initials are on it.
So it's your testimony that it just so happens that your initials are on 16 and his initials are on 15, not because you each collected those respective items, but because you happened to package one at the laboratory and he happened to package the other?
That's correct.
Now it's a
Ms. Mazzola, isn't it a
USB
fact that in your
2.5, I think, to a
lab box, you not only
USB-C.
carry coin envelopes, basically the size shown here for 15 and 16, but you also carry other manila envelopes, such as the one I have in my left hand,
In the kits?
in the kits.
Yes.
The one you're holding in your left hand, what's the size of that? Should be written on the bottom of the bag.
What's the size of that
Turn it
thing
over.
you're holding in your hand there?
Bottom. What's it say?
Phrasing.
OJ is stick and a half, maybe?
Does it have
Is
a
the measuring
size
it?
designation?
Oh, no, I don't see one.
All right.
It's halfway between a USB 2 and a USB 3.
Give me an estimate for the record. Give me an estimate for the record.
Well, Ms. Mazzola, what would be your estimate of the size of this envelope? I'm holding it in my right hand.
Yeah, the luggage tag is a bit convenient on the bench.
A little bit.
Unless he threw it there as he was rushing into the house because the police were after him.
Maybe 7 by 11, 8 by 11.
No,
Might be a bit smaller, perhaps.
It's possible.
it's a USB 2 and the
7 by 9 or
USB
so.
3 compatible.
Okay.
There's not. It's not actually a USB 2.5 because that would just be non-existent. Oh, that ramen was so good, but I'm going to be so sick tomorrow.
See, you have to do the homemade broth.
And you said that after you had
So
been
much easier.
standing in the kitchen for 5
much
or so
better.
minutes with Dennis Fung, that you then took the bag with items 15 and 16 in it.
I'll
and
mail you
walked
miso
into the
tare.
foyer. Is that right?
I'll make it.
I received the bag after 5 minutes or so.
And after you received the bag, after 5 minutes or so, did you continue to stand in the kitchen foyer area with Dennis Fung for some period of time before putting the bag down?
I was in that area for a short period of time, yes.
And approximately how long were you in that area after you received the plastic bag?
I'm not sure exactly how long.
I'm not asking you to be sure, ma'am. Just give me your best approximation.
It's
couldn't give you an
ma'am.
approximate. I wasn't looking at my watch.
Well, is it closer to 2 or 3 minutes or closer to 10 minutes? How long approximately?
It was more than 2 or 3 minutes, but other than that, I'm not sure.
So would it be fair to say
Yep.
that, now that you know, by the way, that 15 and 16, at least 16 were photographed, that had these items been photographed, which I think you said takes a few minutes to set up and actually document, is that a fair statement?
Oh,
A few minutes, yes, not many.
And then you said that you were in the kitchen for approximately 5 minutes waiting for with Dennis Fung until you got the bag, is that right?
Whoops.
Approximately.
And then you said it was another few minutes, more than 2, but you said less than 10, that you continued to talk to Dennis Fung or stand near Dennis Fung before going to the living room, correct?
I don't believe I said it was less than 10. I said it was more than 2 or 3.
Fine. Well, was it close to 5 perhaps?
I do not know.
Somewhere between 2 and 3 and 5, would that be a fair estimate?
I don't know.
But more than 2 or 3?
More than 2 or 3.
Okay, so just those 3 times alone, we're talking about a period of about perhaps 10 minutes or so.
Does
before
she
you
in
went into the
fact
living
know
room. Is that your
anything?
testimony?
Could be little more
I
than
don't know.
that.
Okay, perhaps as much as 12 minutes or so?
I
Sustain.
Flux's
Now-
powers back.
To your testimony
It is?
on direct examination, that there came a time when you walked into the living room after leaving the trash bag on the foyer, and you sat down on the couch, and then you have an independent recollection that you closed your eyes. Is that correct?
yes.
I want you to take a look carefully, Ms. Mazzola, at the at this videotape that we received in evidence, which is time-coded.
My dogs are retards. I swear to God. That's where Yoda is.
They're just anti-paparazzi today, that's all.
Yoda is hiding behind the curtains.
Pay no attention to that doggo behind the curtain.
Seriously. Extremely happy simmer, yes.
They do not wish to be perceived. Is that a reference to something?
12. Real festival.
Hey, it's asses and bags again.
My favorite.
What is a horrible word, Alan?
In the not too distant future. I mean, that's a very, worthy of MST3K kind of movie.
Which one's that?
Bags and asses.
Oh, okay.
Asses and bags. However you want to stylize
Yes.
it.
Bed knobs and broomsticks. Which I think she probably uses both of those.
Yeah. Oh my god, wait, did you see how they're walking in tandem, like,
Back up a second.
pull,
Yeah.
with their arms
Yeah.
swaying in the same
Now-
way? That's so weird.
A little bit more. Okay, stop. Well,
Tracking.
now, according to the tape, it's approximately 17:12.
They look like the A-Team, but
you
like a
begin to
really
walk
bad
back into
version.
the Rockingham house, having made
Or
that
Charlie's
first
Angels.
trip.
Oh, retard.
van, is that
Retard
right?
was the bad word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you-
But it accurately describes my dogs. They are slow. They are very, very slow.
What's wrong with the word retard?
And according to this tape, do you recognize that gentleman in the picture?
In the
Not the
suit?
one in the blue uniform, the one in the gray suit?
Yes.
And who is
Detective
that?
Van Adder.
Detective Van Adder.
All right. And according to the tape, he's arriving at approximately 17:17. Is that right?
Yes.
About 5 minutes after you finished packing up the van and began heading back to the house.
Approximately.
What's in the bag?
What's in the bag?
What's in the bag?
Apparently
Stop.
glasses,
Stop
some
there.
swatches, and
Now,
a big
recognize the gentleman on the
vial
left
of
is
the
Dennis Fung.
suspect's blood.
And Dennis Fung seems to be holding some objects, correct?
Correct.
And what is the
You
time?
need a leather weekender for that.
1718.
Now, Ms. Mazzola,
Actually, 17/18/57, because you need the precise frame
thank you.
at 1400.
This is early twerking from the 90s.
Proceed.
Would you agree that if at 17:12 you
Yoda,
started
you are
walking back into the house,
Yoda is so stupid.
by
Swear to God.
17:18, Dennis Fung is standing in the foyer with an object which has been purported to be the blood vial envelope. Would you agree that that period of time is 6 minutes approximately, or 6.5 minutes, from when you started walking back into the house to the image in this frame?
Approximately, yes.
And you said a moment ago, ma'am, that
Ma'am!
when you and Dennis Fung returned to the house from the van, first thing that was done was that items 16 and 15 were collected. Is that right?
When we got back there, yes.
And that to collect them, they first had to be documented, correct?
Correct.
And you said that took a few minutes, correct?
Correct.
To document an item, yes.
Right. And then you said that after they were documented and collected, that you stood with Dennis Fung for about 5 minutes in the kitchen foyer area waiting to receive the trash bag, correct?
I believe I said approximately 5 minutes or so.
And you said that after you received the trash bag, Ms. Mazzola, it was at least 2 minutes more that you waited with Dennis Fung before walking into the living room, correct?
I was in the general vicinity, yes.
And so, ma'am, I think you also said a little while ago, therefore, that it was at least 10 minutes that you were with Dennis Fung, either processing these two items or standing with him with the trash bag before you put the trash bag down in the foyer and walked into the living room. Isn't that correct?
Sustained.
Didn't you testify?
Well, Bruce, that's the old question, isn't it? Why do dogs lick their genitals? Because they can.
And collect items 15 and 16 until you left the trash bag in the foyer and went into the living room.
Sustained.
Whereas for cats, it's more of a sanitary purpose, at least.
To get rid of the
Ms.
taste of
Mazzola,
dog
by your
poop.
own estimates in the last few minutes, wouldn't you agree that more than 10 minutes passed from the time you re-entered Rockingham and began the collection process of items 15 and 16 until the time that you went into the living room to sit on the couch?
Overruled.
I believe I was giving estimates. It could have been 1 or 2 or even 3 minutes off.
Ms. Mazzola, but given the estimates that you gave, not that I gave, but that you gave.
Oh,
by those
so would
estimates,
women,
wasn't it
Sarah.
At least 10 minutes.
I've
from the time
seen,
that you first
I've
went
heard
into
of
Rockingham,
alleged
collect
videos.
items 15 and 16 until you left the bag on the foyer and went into the living room and closed your eyes.
Overruled.
By your estimates that you just gave.
Being off a
Oh my God, there's
couple of minutes,
183
15
people here.
minutes.
This is one of our larger OJ streams
could
too.
be
Hi,
anywhere from
183
6 minutes
people.
to 10 minutes.
There's only 100
Well,
likes.
A few minutes ago, before
I'm
I
gonna
showed
put
you
up
the
a poll.
KABC tape, didn't you say it was at least 10 minutes?
I have a poll.
Sustained.
I actually had an idea for a poll midstream.
I
Oh,
think we spent enough time on this, Council.
oh yeah.
How many people are craving ramen right now?
Ms.
Because I've seen a
Mazzola,
lot of people in chat
I think you
mention that they are
testified
currently
on,
craving ramen and they must eat
direct
ramen today.
examination that by this point in the day, you were very tired. Is that right?
I
It's
was,
been a
Just my
long day.
curiosity.
I was tired, yes.
If you want to refresh her.
And
Look at that.
I'm done with mine.
during the course of
I
your
drank the broth.
examination, would it be fair to say that when I asked you about certain
Still
item
got the
numbers,
noodles.
it was frequently necessary for you to refer to your notes to see what item number a particular object was?
Overruled.
Yes.
And during the course of June 13th, you collected many different items. Is that right?
Yes.
And in fact, you had a different set of numbers for the items you were collecting at Bundy from the items you were collecting at Rockingham.
Yes.
Well, how did you know that you were up to item 16 and item 15 when you collected the last two items at the Rockingham house?
Overruled.
because we had started with number 1 at Rockingham and we
Mm.
started with 100 at Bundy.
But Ms. Mazzola, is it your testimony that even after you put the field notes back into the van, that you had an independent recollection that the next item you were up to was 15?
Thanks. Although,
That
although
was the next.
if you can cancel
item
that
that was
order,
Ms. Mazzola, what I'm
you
asking
probably
though, is
should, because I
whether or
literally have
not
an electronics store in the
at
first
this
floor of
point in
my
the day
office
when
building.
You said you were so exhausted and you collected so many different items that you were able to remember that the next item number available for an item was 15 without referring
You
to
can never
your
have
field
too many
notes.
cables, though.
Yes.
I have so many extra cables that I've spent way too much
Isn't
money
it a
on.
fact, Ms. Mazzola?
You can never have too many cables.
I mean, you
that the
can. You
notations
actually
to
can.
Items 15 and 16
Well, I have lots
And
of
the
cables I
times that they
don't
were
need, not enough
recorded
of the ones I do
were
need.
written contemporaneous to their collection on the afternoon
I
of June 13th.
swear to God, you said kibbles just now.
Items 15 and 16
You're
are the
hungry.
next items up. The time
No, I think my
written
cats are
next
hungry.
day.
Isn't it a
And
fact
they
that you
managed to
recorded
conquer telepathy
on this field
into my
document
brain.
the numbers 15 and 16, the check marks for ID photo, their locations of the items, what they were, and their times on the afternoon of June 13th at about the time that you were actually collecting them.
Sustained. Referring to 1107.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I would like to simply pass this document to the jurors.
Certainly.
How is that done here? Do I have to give it to someone first?
Hand it to juror number 1.
Okay. Just one question first, if I may. May I? Just, okay. Ms. Mazzola, and you can look at your own notes if you want. Didn't you in fact
God damn
give a detailed description or
Too
description
far.
of the actual location of each of these items on your field notes?
Objection, just to the word detail.
Overruled.
The cable doesn't
There's
go that
location
far.
Noted, yes.
And doesn't the location for item 15 not simply say that it's in a garbage can? in the
Garbage
bathroom,
can?
But it even says what corner of the bathroom the garbage can is in.
Close your eyes and it sounds like Joe making fun of himself.
That is location Mr. Fung told
It
me.
kind of
yes.
does.
And isn't that the location that Mr. Fung told you on the afternoon of the 13th when you actually wrote it down on that
Do they do
document?
that a lot? Do they like sit in the same position?
No, I don't believe it was on the afternoon of the 13th.
It's your testimony that Dennis Fung recalled the very next day when he talked to you that that trash can was in the southwest corner of the bathroom?
Overruled.
I cannot testify to what Mr. Fung remembered or not.
I'm not asking you what he remembered. I'm asking you whether that's when he told it to you for the first time.
Overruled.
It was the next day.
I just take a minute while we're doing that.
Sarah, we don't say bin here.
Was
We're
it
Americans.
after that you and Dennis Fung removed items in 15 and 16 from the trash bag that you?
That pose. I can't help it. We know what that pose means.
Mm-hmm.
People wearing earphones. 3, 2, 1. There you go. You only have to hear that like 2 more times.
Log them in on this field sheet. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
And that
I'm
was
gonna
done
get
in
deaf
the afternoon
prematurely
of June
because of that
14th,
clip.
correct?
It was
Not because
done
I
on
went to
June
cool
14th.
concerts or anything.
Well,
Kind of mad.
on the morning of June 14th, you said you became aware that the blood vial from Mr. Simpson was in the trash bag, correct?
Correct.
And you certainly knew, ma'am, on the morning of the 14th, that the sneakers had not been in that trash bag. Isn't that right?
Correct.
And you say you saw on the gray envelope, when it was removed from the trash bag, the inscription indicating that Mr. Fung had received the blood vial from Van Adder on June 13th at 5:20 p.m., correct?
I caught a glimpse of it, yes.
Yeah,
She
isn't it
swore
a
it.
fact that you still made out this handwritten list on June 14th with the sneakers identified as item 17, the vial as item 18, and the hair from the glove as item 19?
Overruled.
Yes.
And ma'am,
We actually call that permed hairstyle in Korea. We call it ramen hair.
I would imagine that you did.
No, they do. Seriously, yeah, like the middle-aged women, they get their hair permed, and they say they're going to get ramen hair.
Like Justin Timberlake and, you know.
yet on this
I
handwritten
wouldn't
sheet,
know.
this is the handwritten sheet that you prepared, ma'am,
Yes.
with the item
Oh, damn it.
17 being the sneakers, 18 being the blood vial, and 19 being some hair removed from the glove.
Correct.
You didn't put any time down on this handwritten sheet for when this blood vial was allegedly obtained, did you?
Object to the word alleged.
Sustained. Rephrase the question.
You didn't write down any time next to the item number 18, the blood vial, so the time that you read on an envelope as to the time it was received.
And on this, no.
Yet the only date, in fact, there's no date either, is there, next to the item?
No.
The only date on that piece of paper that you wrote is June 14th, isn't that right?
For the tennis shoes, yes.
Excuse me, well, you certainly knew that item 19, the hair, was not collected on the, was not something that you were booking in on the 13th, correct?
Was not collected on the 13th?
Well, the hair was not something that you were separating on the 18th, on the 13th.
That's,
Well, didn't you,
Sustain. You're phrasing the question.
didn't you include or keep item 19
You must phrase
hair
your question
from
in the
item
form of
9
an answer.
on a separate page with the sneakers and subsequent reports?
It's irrelevant.
What if she does it like Jeopardy style? She phrases it in the form of a question.
Isn't it a fact that you never wrote down on that sheet that the blood vial was received on June 13th at 17:20 in the afternoon?
on this, no.
And isn't it a fact, ma'am, that the reason you wrote down the vial is number 18 and the sneakers is number 17 is that you never saw a vial come out of the plastic bag in the early morning hours of June 14th?
Sustain.
What is malfeasance?
What is I don't recall?
What item do we have on the Elmo now?
Sorry.
What item is on the Elmo?
What is the end of my career?
Eh.
It should have been. Really should have been. Amazed that it wasn't.
Now, yesterday, you were asked by Mr. Goldberg whether you had an independent recollection that on June 13th, 10 months ago, you remember that the trash bag felt a little bit heavier when you carried it down the driveway than it had felt earlier on when you were holding it with items 15 and 16 in it. Isn't that correct?
Sustain.
Two, 4, 6, 4, 3.
Ooh, we had a fade shot there.
I think you heard me. Did you hear me, Your Honor? 2, 4, 6, 4, 3.
What line?
Beginning at line 10.
Fair enough, Catherine. Can't argue with that.
Proceed.
Although it does make her slightly more
Not-
credible. That she's not fangirling over being
Proceed.
involved.
It's a foundation question. Your Honor.
It's making her sound stupid.
When you
know.
testified
I don't recall.
yesterday under questioning for Mr. Goldberg, did you testify that, well, you asked this question, did you give this answer? Question. Now, in terms of weight, when you were carrying the bag, did the weight appear to be consistent with only 15, 16, and the little cards? Answer, it appeared to be a little heavier, but at the time I didn't think much about it. You were asked that question, gave that answer yesterday?
Correct.
Okay. And when you testified that way, Mr. Zola, were you saying, in effect, that you were recalling that the bag had a little more heft when you carried it down the driveway, as opposed to the amount of heft that it had when you were holding it in the house?
A bag had a little more heft. Don't talk about my wife like that.
Overruled.
I wonder if Hefty used
It
this
was
as
a little heavier
commercial
than
moment.
what item 15, 16, and the few cards would have had.
Well, when you say, when you testified that way yesterday, and you said it was heavier than what the cards in 15 and 16 would have felt like, were you simply assuming a weight for 15 and 16 in the cards, or were you thinking back to how heavy the bag felt when you held it with 15 and 16 in the little cards before you put it down in the foyer?
Do you understand that question?
I understand the question. I don't know if I was assuming the weight given the few pieces of paper versus remembering exactly how heavy it was when I had it in my hand.
Well, the photo ID cards are pieces of cardboard, are they not? They're index cards that are folded in half?
They're about that weight, yes.
And there were about a half dozen of them, or 8 of them, I think we said yesterday. Is that right?
I don't know if there were 8. There were a few.
Well, there was.
That was
I
probably
remember
for the
4
best.
had an index card, right?
I've got it taken
Correct.
care of. Thank you,
I
though,
know
for that
5,
very, very kind
6.
consideration.
7, 8, A, B, and C. Is that right?
That's not how it goes.
So approximately a half dozen or so?
Approximately.
And those are cardboard.
Counting's weird there.
More like, as you said, index cards.
Sorry, thank you. And it's your testimony yesterday and today
My
that you
dogs
could
are
recall
broken today.
that when
What
you
is
carried
going
that bag
on?
down the driveway,
Yoda's
that
gone
it
back
had more
behind the
heft.
curtain. I don't know what's going on here.
then it would have, with just the folded index cards in it, and items 15 and 16. Is that correct?
Yes, it was a little heavier.
Is that doggo
Oh,
okay, that's pretty good.
I don't know what's happening here.
It's very funny though.
Permission, I would simply like to take the staple off of these 3 objects so I can isolate one of them.
Which item is that?
These are the 3 envelopes that are used for demonstrative purposes by the people. It's
Curtain call.
163H.
No.
All right, you may unstaple them. Of course, you have a staple remover.
Here's my stapler.
It's curtains for you, Yoda. Just like
Nice.
a little snout peeking out.
It's like the Grinch.
Yoda does look skinnier from that.
Ms. Mazzola, I believe you've already
Oh,
testified
come back. I was just
that
making a
the
joke.
analyzed evidence report, which would hold a blood vial, is the gray envelope, which was part of People's Exhibit 163H. Is that right?
The envelope, yes.
All right. And
Yeah, I would
you, of
say.
course, have seen the blood vials that are used to hold reference samples, haven't you, in your work in toxicology?
I've seen those samples, yes.
And I now
She's
show
seen
you
stool samples.
what
What?
is defendant's exhibit. Looks like
I don't think that's what she said, Jeff.
there's a number.
I don't
covered
think
up.
it is either,
Good,
but that's what I heard.
I highly doubt that.
1112. And ask you whether or not it appears to be same size and shape that is used as a standard vial for holding blood. Reference samples.
In toxicology, we do not have the ones with the EDTA preservative,
You have a different type of stopper on it,
correct?
but it's the same size, correct?
It might be a little bit smaller. I'm not positive. I need to compare the 2.
May we have a very brief sidebar, Your Honor? I think I can, it's just a question of foundation.
Do you have any other vials available?
This is the problem. May I just approach very briefly on that, Your Honor?
Hold on, just talk to Mr. Sheck.
Silence in the court. Wow. Let's see. I thought we had 3 new super chats. We don't. I just didn't unstar them.
We
To
believe that
curtain
Dennis Fung has already
Doggerito.
addressed this issue.
All right, let me see counsel without the reporter.
I believe there's a stipulation from the people.
Proceed. Lay your foundation.
Huh. I seem to have sliced open my finger on something. That's odd.
That is odd.
It's like, ow, the end of my finger hurts. Oh, it's covered in blood. Huh.
Korean ghost.
Could be.
I don't think the
There's
ghost
my-
in your apartment likes me.
It's my left index finger, and there's nothing over here that would do that.
I swear some weird shit happens every time we do the OJ stream. There's a scream or like a, something falls or, your finger gets cut. Like, and it's only OJ.
It's Nicole
And
Brown
blood
trying to tell us who
container,
did
the
it.
LAPD.
Oh, God.
Offhand, I don't know.
You're horrible.
Would you recognize one if you saw a picture of it?
We really don't
To
need
tell you the
ghosts.
truth, I don't pay close attention to what brand it is.
Show you this picture, see if it refreshes your recollection.
The curtain moving is cracking
I'm
me
also
up.
going to show you,
It's so cute.
which I guess we're next in order on this one.
Yoda thinks you can't see him if he's
Would
behind
be
the curtain.
11:24.
I haven't seen Bob yet
Correct,
today.
Mrs. Robinson?
Haven't been looking for
See
him.
if
I saw
look at
him.
that, please.
Okay.
He's
Take a
just
look at the
leaning
photo.
over Cochrane, kind of rubbing his head.
He's leaning
like
over a
that.
cock ring? What?
He's leaning over Johnny Cochran. He's kind
Oh,
of
okay.
looked like he was like massaging his hair and shampooing him or something. I don't know.
You
It
wanna
was
mark
hard
the
because you couldn't
photo
see his
as
hands.
11:25?
So I presume that's what
Wow,
he was doing.
okay. Oh, she has a nice moon phase ring on. That's pretty. Watch on. That's pretty cool. Hey, what's up, Yoda?
Oh,
Okay.
that's really cute.
The green mist consola that a purple
You're
top
going.
monojet tube was used to hold
It's a good
Mr.
look for
Simpson's
Yoda.
blood.
Yes.
He's ready for his
And
portrait
the
now,
monojet tube that was used,
Mr. DeMille.
the same size and shape as the one you're holding in your right hand.
Do you notice how the wrinkles in her jacket look like
It
Abe
appears to
Lincoln's
be.
face?
Mm.
Like the sleeve.
Thank you.
See? It's like no,
And-
she moved it. That's how bored I get, you guys.
She's not a
I like
horrible
all that.
actress. She was studying
What I've done,
intently.
Ms. Mazzola, is I put water in this tube.
Sure, she was.
Okay?
Okay.
And what I'd like you to do is to,
No, they have not had
Two,
puppies.
the
One, they're
envelope.
brother and sister, and two, it's a
I'd like
medical
to-
impossibility. Is that a manila envelope?
Yeah, he called it that. He did
Yeah.
call it a manila envelope.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna point it out, but can't comment on everything.
Okay.
It's a
now I
Mazzola
want you
manila
to hold
envelope.
that with your hand to get a sense of how much it weighs.
All right.
Now, is it your testimony, Ms. Mazzola, that you have an independent memory of the additional hefty weight generated 10 months ago by the inclusion in the trash bag of an object with that amount of weight?
Overruled.
No, it's not argumentative. He's asking the question.
Overruled.
You can say no, but it weighs as much as my dignity right now.
There's an additional bit of weight in the bag, yes.
But what I'm asking you is it your independent recollection that you could tell that the bag that you carried out to the truck weighed more than the bag when you held it in the kitchen, given the amount of weight that you now sense this object has?
Asked and answered.
Overruled.
Yes, the weight was
Oh,
a
for
little
God's
bit more
sake.
and concentrated in one area.
And it's something that you could actually feel that day.
She could feel the weight was a little more and concentrated in
felt a
one
little
area
heavier.
of the trash
Ronald, with the
bag
court's
10
permission, and then
months
I will be
ago.
finished with this area of recourse, and I'll get back to finishing the cross. And I just simply pass this envelope around so the jurors can experience the weight.
I don't think you have an adequate foundation at this point, given the testimony of the witness. Demonstration has to most closely be identical.
Okay, so take a
testimony that
vial of
this is not
OJ's
identical.
blood, put it in the
Well, there's
bag.
been testimony that,
No, counsel,
I'm sorry,
What is wrong with you guys today? Oh my God.
I don't know, but I feel like you're having to do two jobs, streaming and doing like gorilla cam, for like some kind of Vice documentary about English bulldogs.
Mentally
Counsel
deficient
without
dogs.
closed order.
Zola,
Oh my God, get out of here, you fucking idiot.
your knowledge Was anything else in that gray
have a cap
envelope
that
on
licks
the
the
morning
table
of
on a
June
regular basis.
14th when you saw it at the
Both of the dogs
LAPD
have.
SID laboratory other than a test tube with blood?
No foundation for personal knowledge.
Sustained.
Which is good because we don't know,
Did you at any
okay, I'm not gonna
time,
go
Ms.
there.
Mazzola, feel in that envelope any other objects other than a test tube?
Vegas to date.
Oh, well.
From the bit I saw, the envelope, it looked like it was just one tube.
Looked like there was just a small tube in it,
One tube.
and nothing else was in the envelope other than that one tube.
From
You should
what
like
I
take in,
could
there's like
see,
10
That's all
tubes
like
in there or
a
something, gotcha.
Still no foundation.
Gotcha, bitch.
That one.
I believe Your Honor now. I'd again now ask if I can pass this around, given her last answer to the jury.
Mr. Goldberg, any objection?
Could I protect the witness on Vadar?
Yes.
Did you look inside the envelope on June the 14th?
No.
So when you said that there only appeared to be one tube in it, what were you basing that opinion on?
From the outline on the envelope.
You did not look inside.
No.
I would ask, and subject to connection,
Ms. Mazzola, does this appear to accurately approximate the weight of the envelope that you have felt or seen with regards to this case?
It's a little hard to tell, Your Honor.
That's a
Blood- I
very
don't know if
good
blood weighs
question.
more than just 100% water or not.
All right, other than that difference, does it feel approximately the same?
That's why you're the judge and I'm the law talking guy, the lawyer. Right.
Other than that difference, does it feel the same?
Feels a little lighter, but
To your knowledge, were there any other items inside that envelope, any reports or anything like that at the time that you carried it?
that I know of personally, no.
All right, go ahead.
with the court's permission, I would like to now publish the envelope, let the jury hold it.
You may.
Thank you.
God, he really wants the jury to hold this thing.
Deputy, may I have that, please? Thank you.
I wonder why.
Basically, so they can tell I think so they can say she'd have no idea whether there was a blood vial in
I'm
there or
moving to a
not.
whole area.
Thank you.
You're welcome. On redirect examination, Mr. Goldberg asked you about your memory. Do you remember that?
Memories all alone.
Well, he asked you about your
in the
memory for details. Do you recall
moonlight.
those questions that he asked you?
As to what items, counsel?
Do you believe that your memory is satisfactory, Ms. Mazzola?
Argumentative, overbroad.
Sustained.
How would you describe your own memory, Ms. Mazzola?
Memory as to what particular point, counsel?
How would you, when you worked at the Kern County Crime Laboratory, did you ever have the experience in which you believe you had inventoried an item only to learn sometime later that you had failed to inventory that item?
Sustained.
Memories.
Sustained.
Well, at the Los Angeles Police Department Toxicology Laboratory, did you ever have the experience
just love
where
torturing
you
me,
believed
don't
you
you?
had inventoried an item only to learn later on that you had forgot to do so?
Oh, well,
Inventoried in what respect? I don't understand the
Making an
question.
entry in the books or making your own entry on a sample that you received for toxicology analysis.
Still vague and ambiguous.
oh, well,
No.
On the plus side, we've only got one more week of her.
And of course, from your work in toxicology, you understand the
It's a
importance
lot.
of chain of
But I can live
custody.
with it.
Is that correct?
And only
Correct.
7 more minutes
You understand
today.
it's important to demonstrate the integrity of the evidence has not been undermined. Isn't that right?
Argumentative.
oh, well,
Correct.
And specifically in toxicology, you knew that a police officer or other employee who took urine or drew blood would initial that sample that was eventually tested in your laboratory. That was a standard procedure.
Calls for speculation.
Oh my God, what a shitty movie that was.
Initialed-
Holy fuck. The Marvels
I've
was
heard
Sample
such a,
itself for
Yeah,
such a
initial the sample
fucking bad
itself.
movie. Oh my God.
I
Why did
have
he watch it
seen
then?
officers
I
send
had
in
to watch it
samples
for
both ways.
Flashcast.
Well, either they initial the sample itself or they at least initial the package that it's contained in. Is that
Sorry.
correct? One or the other.
They fill out the package that the sample's contained
Hey.
in.
I
With their
fill
name
out
on
my
it, correct?
package
Police
too there,
officer
but you
who
don't
actually
care, do you,
collected the
Mazzola?
sample.
Overruled.
Either collected or booked it, yes.
And you testified that on the field reports, there was a box to fill in with the initials of the criminalist who personally collected each item of evidence. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, it was the
Same.
homework for Flashcast. We had to watch it so we could talk about it. And we did talk about what a horrible, shitty,
Would you
awful,
agree,
horrific
ma'am,
video
that
that
one
was.
reason that it's important to document who collected which swatches
At least you
and
weren't
where they
suffering
were
alone.
collected is because little swatches all look pretty much alike.
Had to watch it alone, though.
The swatches are similar in size, yes.
Swatches aren't a bad
And
watch.
just by looking at a swatch, you can't tell whether it was from a drop at Rockingham or a drop at Bundy.
Interesting. We've asked these questions already, counsel. Last week.
Sweet memories flashing very quickly by. Dude, what a great song. Reminding me.
Well, at the mini academy at LAPD SID, were you ever instructed that items of evidence should be photographed prior to their actual booking?
I'll take things Andrea Mazzola will never say for 400, please, Alex.
It has.
Not with respect to these items, Your Honor, not with respect to the swatches.
It has. We've
Yes.
already gone through the general booking procedures, counsel. Yes, you have. Proceed.
Ooh. Careful, he's
Were
wielding
you taught that
his solo
photograph
cup
must
at
be
you.
taken before there is any manipulation or alteration of the evidence?
Same question. Proceed, counsel.
Reminding.
Did anyone at the Los Angeles Police Department ever instruct you to have photographs taken of the swatches prior to their booking?
Some medieval fair with women doing sword fights with the men.
No.
Woke is everywhere. Hey, if
And you did not
Shield
take the
maidens,
initiative to do that on your own?
Vikings, the women were some of the worst fighters. Some of the most fierce,
No.
not worse. They were some of the most fierce
So it would be
fighters.
fair to say that there are no
Shield
photographs
maidens.
to show what the swatches looked like when they were collected, but before they were passed to third parties.
That's correct.
Why is that
And there
woke?
was no photograph to indicate the number of swatches that you collected for each stain.
That is correct.
And would it also be correct, ma'am, that there are no written records created by you indicating the number of swatches that you personally collected?
Overruled.
That's correct.
Your field notes only say, quote, red stain, unquote.
Correct.
And the official property reports only mention a, quote, swatch, unquote, in the singular. Isn't that correct?
Overruled.
I did not fill out the property reports. I could look at them and give you an answer.
Well, you were able to testify about the property reports, I believe, during the redirect examination of Mr. Goldberg, weren't you?
Sustained.
Could you please look at the property reports?
Oh my God! I'm sorry. We have to inflict this on everybody next week. You can tell he's getting to the end because he's just scraping for answers and trying to hammer home these last few points. But he's going so far overboard. He's a great legal mind, but I think he's completely boring the shit out of everybody that has anything to do with this trial.
Yeah, really. I mean, he's being thorough, but there's such a thing as being too thorough.
God, he went on for like 20 minutes about the weight of the fucking envelope. Ugh.
This is the problem. There are some lawyers who forget what it's like to be a juror. They've been lawyers for so long, and they can't think of what they would like to hear, because obviously this is something he would like to hear, somebody go into. But a juror is not going to be as interested in this stuff as he is. He's just and honestly, following after Barry Shack is kind of a hard thing to do. He's not as dynamic. He's not as quick. He's not as easy to pivot. He's not as emphatic. He's not as theatrical. So of course he's going to be more boring by comparison.
Well, and I mean, he's got this point. He knows what the point is he wants to make, and he knows he can get it out of her. And he keeps trying and trying and trying and trying. She doesn't play. That's when you just go, look, you just don't remember anything, do you? And then get an argumentative objection, and then you go, all right, I'm moving on. So
I think the whole
he's
point
just-
is just making the cops look untrustworthy and slimy and like they are trying to, wriggle their way
Yeah.
out of any kind of responsibility, which, the jurors get that point by now.
well, we've got 3 minutes left.
Okay. I can do that.
Oof.
Why am I so sleepy still? Oh, because I didn't
Was-
sleep.
I was gonna say because you didn't
That's right.
sleep.
That's why.
Yeah, well, so I'd keep listening to her
It's in the
fail every
singular.
It's in the
time
singular.
hits
And in
home.
fact, isn't there a box or
Remember, this is the end of 15 weeks of trial right now. You've been sitting
Timing
there
matters.
for 4 months, 8-9 hours a day. And this is what you're listening to after 4 months, day in, day out.
column where the person filling out the property report is to indicate the quantity of an item?
That's correct.
And isn't it true that the quantity, namely the number of swatches for each of these bloodstains that you collected, is not filled in with a number?
The boxes are not filled in. That's correct.
So there's no listing of the quantity of
The joke
swatches
was
that were
too
collected
easy,
for each of
I'll
these
move on.
stains.
Sustain.
No jokes about her box not being filled.
Now, even without photographs, would you agree that one way to distinguish one set of swatches from another is to clearly document the coin envelope that the swatches are collected in?
The jurors get paid.
Oh,
They probably got
It
about
is necessary
15,
to
20
have
bucks a day
information on the
back then.
envelope. Yes.
And would you agree that one element of properly documenting
Which is not a lot. I mean, I don't know how much they got paid back then, but like I said, probably around 15 or 20 bucks 30 years ago. So yeah, imagine that. That's what you get paid for 9 months of sitting there.
the coin envelope the swatches are collected in is to record the initials of the criminalist who's collecting those swatches?
Not necessarily.
Well, would you agree that one reason for initialing the envelope is so it would be perfectly clear that this particular package contained the swatches that you collected as opposed to some other set of anonymous swatches?
The item numbers and DR numbers identify which case and which item number the swatches came from.
And do initials of the criminalist also help to identify it?
overruled.
The end.
They could.
And wouldn't it be fair to say, ma'am, that on the day that you collected the swatches in this place, you didn't even know the DR number, did you?
At that time, no.
The DR number hadn't been bought on June 13th, had it?
I don't know when it had been bought.
Well, if you knew that there was testimony that it was not bought until the 16th of June.
$5 a day, Jesus.
Sustained. All right, council, let's take our break at this point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 15-minute recess. Please remember all of my admonitions to you. Don't discuss the case amongst yourselves, form any opinions about the case, conduct any deliberations on the matter, or allow anybody to communicate with you. We'll take a 15-minute recess, and council, once you organize your exhibits for the next phase. All right, Ms. Mazzola, you may sit down.
Oh, sweet baby Jeebus. There we go. That's
Oof.
one more week. 2 hours. 2 more hours of Mazzola. Then 2 weeks from
Yeah,
now, we'll
right.
start doing closing arguments. Then the verdict. Then we move on. That ramen is
Yay.
making my stomach so sick right now. Oh,
I'm sorry.
nah, it's just
It was-
it's a me thing.
It was your idea, Jeff.
Koreans go out and drink soda, they eat all kinds of shit, drink soju all night long, and then they hit the ramen stands at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning before they go home. Ugh, I just can't do that. But I do have some interesting legal adjacent news
Oh,
that I saw earlier today.
okay. What?
We all remember the entertaining Gwyneth Paltrow ski crash lawsuit with the crazy guy that wanted to get all behind her and reenact the ski accident
Yep, that guy.
and various other shenanigans.
Mhm.
Well, According to Court TV, the Gwyneth Paltrow ski crash trial is being turned into a musical.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
The Gwyneth Paltrow ski crash lawsuit is being turned into a musical.
For fuck's sake, why?
Why not? Oh,
I mean, it
dang.
could either be hilarious and amazing and really, really funny and really well done, or just incredibly cringe.
I hope it's a little bit of both, actually.
It sounds bizarre for sure. I'd say bizarre is, I don't know who looked at that and went, that should be a musical. I'd really like to know what that person was on and how to
The
avoid
one-
taking that drug in any club in LA at any time in the future, because no.
Though one of these things is not like the other, that's what's happening for Gwyneth Paltrow's now famous ski crash and the legal battle that followed. From Awkward Productions, a theater group who calls themselves Harbingers of Queer Chaos, comes Gwyneth Goes Skiing, a story of love, betrayal, skiing, and somehow Christmas.
No.
She's the goop-founding, door-sliding, Shakespearean-loving, consciously uncoupling Hollywood superstar. He's a
You have
retired
your-
optometrist from Utah. In 2016, they went skiing. Pleasance Theater shared on its website, on the slopes of Deer Valley, their worlds collided. This sounds good, actually. And so did they. Literally. Ouch. 7 years later, in 2023, they went to court. Double ouch. This is their story, kind of. Not really, but also, it's at Christmas. The production will star Linus Karp as Paltrow and Joseph Martin as the optometrist, Terry Sanderson. It will also feature original music from singer-songwriter Leland.
I'm scared. I'm really
Well,
scared.
Leland must be so good he only needs one name, like Cher.
No.
Madonna.
No. Oh God. The queer one name bands are always terrible. They have the worst. This is.
Well,
gonna
he's
be
just a
bad.
singer-songwriter.
This is making me make faces that Jennifer Coolidge makes, and I don't know in what other context I ever make faces like that.
The story, at least in real life, starts back in 2016 when Paltrow and Sanderson collided on a Utah slope. Sanderson then sued the Oscar-winning actress for $300,000, alleging she recklessly caused the incident with her out-of-control skiing on the beginner's slope and left him with lasting issues, including a traumatic brain injury. Paltrow denied the claims and countersued for $1 and attorney's fees, claiming it was Sanderson who caused the incident by crashing into her. Then in March, the 2-week televised trial ended with a jury finding Sanderson 100% at fault, awarding Paltrow the symbolic $1. The trial became a trending topic across social media, particularly when Paltrow won and whispered, "I wish you well," to Sanderson as she left the courtroom. Now London audiences can relive it again when the 90-minute musical skis across the Pleasance Theater stage from December 13th through December 23rd. So all of you in London, cool.
I just don't understand. Like, okay, I feel like from a
There
legal
is nothing to
perspective-
understand.
No, from a legal perspective, don't you think like using Gwyneth Paltrow's likeness is going to be, there's going to at least be some like extremely expensive licensing fee for that? No?
Well, I'm not really using her license, her likeness. I doubt they have like lookalikes.
Well, then what else would it be? Her name, her.
She's a public figure. She's screwed.
She is a public figure. That's true.
Public figure in a public televised public event, and
I guess. Yeah.
It's hopeless for her.
Well, you answered my one question.
Is legal advice is an important question, and I can't stress how necessary this is. Joel or Mike? No, Joel. Just kidding. Joel.
Joel. Oh, sorry, that was a question for you.
Trace or Bill for Crow? Trace, of course. Yeah, that's just like no brainers. It's 2 no brainers. I'm with Chandler. This shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't be, but it is. It's Sarah Dawn. I'm definitely not going to see it.
What about the other dude, though? Okay, that other dude, Terry Sanderson, was his name, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He seems litigious. Don't you think he would want to sue for using his likeness, or do you think that's also not possible?
Probably not possible, but anything's possible. You can sue anybody for anything. It's just whether you have any chance of winning or not.
No, I
So
know.
it is
Of course,
possible.
foresee.
Yeah.
I could foresee him filing a suit about this, but I wonder if it would have any merit to stand up in court.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. That's not what it's called.
But then would they make a musical about him suing them about the musical?
Yeah, I
and how
would. That
long
would
would
be
it go? Because that would just be an infinite regress of stupidity, and I think that would be hilarious.
Well, the whole thing was an infinite regress of stupidity to begin with.
I guess. But it would be even more infinitesimally regressier or something. I don't know.
Regressier?
It's not the right word.
No, it's definitely. I don't know what word you're looking for, but I know it's not regressier.
It's regressive. I didn't sleep last night.
Yeah,
so
whatever
my
it is,
brain can word better later on.
Yeah, we can agree it's not regressier though.
No.
Well, Bush, you're just wrong. It's not Joel and Bill.
I'm definitely not going to see that. I hate musicals.
Well, you'd have to go all the way to London anyway.
I mean, I would go to London, but not. Well,
London Calling. That's a great song.
It's a great album.
The whole album's great. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I hate almost everything. Like, I'm not a musicals person. And which is funny because I used to do musical theater and I really hate it. But like, I guess I have like maybe 2 musicals that I can possibly stand, and that's Damn Yankees in Chicago, and that's it. Every other musical, no, I despise. I will not go and see musicals. You cannot drag me to a musical. I'll see plays. Musicals, no. And so that just sounds like a horrible idea. I refuse. I reject it outright. And good. It sounds like it's going to be very poor quality, but I could be surprised.
The story sounds pretty fun. The way it's portrayed.
The idea of making it about a legal drama is kind of fun. It's just that it's blending a legal drama with like the worst thing in the world, which is a musical in my mind. So sorry, everybody who's a big musical lover out there.
Yeah,
I have
little Shop of Horrors.
I hated that too. I hated it. But then again, I saw
really?
it when I was a kid. Yeah, I'm not a fan of musicals. I just don't like them.
Well, then we can't be friends because Wizard of Oz. People that don't like Wizard of Oz, I just don't like them.
I love the Wizard of Oz, but I don't think of it as a musical. I think of it as a film.
That's all they do is sing from beginning to end in that thing.
No, I mean, there's a difference between a musical that you see on Broadway and a film where there is music and singing, because one is a play, like a stage play with music, and the other is, a cinematic experience. And I have respect for film, but I don't really have that much respect for theater.
Well, Flux, you're required. You're required by law to say that, Flux.
Well, yeah, but you're gayer than me. Like, you're way gayer than me. So just sorry. And I mean, look, I could be wrong.
Chitty Bang Bang. What a great musical.
I don't really know it. I hate Phantom of the Opera. I hated the movie a lot. What else? I mean, I liked Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
And Rocky Horror Picture Show is good. But I preferred Priscilla Queen of the Desert. So, I mean, just overall, I'm sorry if I offended anybody. And if somebody wants to challenge me, it's just, I have this gay uncle, and every time we've driven anywhere for a really long time together, he forces me to listen to the soundtrack to some musical, which is, I think, why I hate them. And that's partly why I hate Cats, although I hate Cats because it's terrible. And that's also why Jeff knows that he can torture me with it, which is why when you sing the first bar of Memories, even cutting you off after that, you very respectfully stopped, but you started, and that was the problem. So it still kept going in my head because it's like an earworm. And if just every time you do it, you erode our friendship just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Well, now I know what to do when I get tired of you. Just start singing musicals.
If you ever really hate me and I do something to really offend you, like, just send me some like unclosable link to. Oh no, I'm not going to give you ideas. No, never mind. Never. Don't do that. No, just don't talk to me for a day or something.
Flux says me loving musicals is the gayest thing about me. Well, other than being married to a woman.
Well, Flux, maybe I would watch a musical with you. I mean, I never saw Hamilton. Maybe Hamilton's good. I don't know.
No,
or the Book of Mormon. I heard the Book of Mormon was good.
It's funny. It's funny. I mean, it's not the best musical out there. It's funny. You know, it's good for a yuck or two.
I could be wrong. I'm willing to be proven wrong.
Little
Glad
Shop
to be
of Horrors
proven
was great with Steve Martin and Rick Moranis.
I think I saw it as a kid and I got disappointed that it wasn't like super gory and violent. Like it wasn't horrific enough for me. I was like, where's all the horror? Like I thought, I don't know. I thought I would see the Venus flytrap actually eating people, and I didn't really get that. So it made me sad.
The original was also great with Jack Nicholson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a musical.
Uncultured. Okay, I'm rude.
The King and I. That's one of my favorite musicals of all time as well. Yul Brynner. Anyway,
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I think I did a song from The King and I when I was like 5.
Yeah. Oh, see, Kaiser. Are you saying the Blues Brothers was a bad musical?
It wasn't a musical. I don't consider it a musical at all.
All right. Okay.
I just don't.
All right.
Oh God, here I come. Every week I disappoint your audience, your chat in some way or another. It's, the movies I haven't seen, all of the great 80s movies that I missed out on when I was an egg, not yet created into an embryo. And then, and now apparently it's this, but you know what? I'm not afraid to have controversial opinions.
Cabaret with Ethel Merman. Yeah.
Oh, I do love okay. I love Cabaret. I love Cabaret. I can
That was Ethel Merman was in there, right?
Liza Minnelli. She might have been in it. Was Ethel Merman in Cabaret? I actually am not sure.
Huh. I know she was in Airplane.
Well, yeah, that was, that was my favorite joke. That was so good. Airplane is one of my favorites of all time. Oh man, that movie's so freaking good.
In the Army Hospital.
Okay, I'll just put it like this.
Oh yeah, she was in Cabaret. Yeah.
There are some exceptions to my rule about hating musicals. However, they are few and far between. I hate far more musicals than than I like or love. So I'll just put it that way.
Wow.
Tommy is a rock opera. It's not a musical.
Yeah, it's different.
And so is Quadrophenia. So not buying those, either of them. Because it started from music. So different. Anyway, that's OJ Simpson. So I'm really, really chatty today. Sorry. I'm passionate about cooking, and I'm also passionate about my dislike for musicals. And so you can't shut me up today, can you?
Jesus Christ Superstar. The one they showed on TV with Tim Minchin as Judas. Holy crap, that was good.
Haven't seen it.
Wow. Yeah, the original I wasn't a big fan of, but the newest Jesus Christ Superstar, I think it was the BBC did it or something. That was phenomenal with Tim Minchin as Judas. What a great production that was.
Wait, they did Reanimator as a musical? No.
That's cool. I know way too much about musicals for being a straight guy.
Did they make a song called "There's a Severed Head Eating Me Out," or is because I just okay, good.
And you were giving me side eye for talking about filling Mazzola's boxes. Jeez.
What was it? It was all the Helen Mirren stuff. I just don't find her sexy. Sorry, she's not my type. What's the
now that offends me and disappoints me more than anything you've ever said about not seeing movies and not liking musicals combined.
Am I a 30-year-old woman supposed to find Helen Mirren sexy just because I'm bisexual? You think just because I'm a bisexual, I have to like every woman that you think is sexy? That's not how it works.
No, she is demonstrably, objectively one of the most beautiful women that's ever walked planet Earth.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe you because I don't think that's true. Although I haven't Googled her or anything. No, she's not. What are you talking about? You can have her, Jeff. She's all yours. Honestly, I don't know why you're disappointed. Why are you disappointed? She's okay. Oh, it's the nose thing for you. That's why. Yeah, I don't like the nose.
it's her hot ass body. When I guess you probably haven't seen Excalibur.
She's like my grandma's age, like that. Well, my grandma's dead, but you know,
She wasn't
anyway.
always your grandmother's age. She wasn't born in her 70s. What the weird shit we talk about, I swear to God.
You want me to look up Helen Mirren?
This
back
is
then?
not an unattractive young woman. That is not an unattractive woman when she was young.
No, she's like
still
tiny there. I can barely see her.
I mean, she's fantastically gorgeous.
Like, I believe you, but who was hotter? Let me think. I'm trying to think of like who was hotter. There's some other
Helen Mirren.
older
She was
lady.
she was in Caligula as well, I believe.
I never saw Caligula.
Shame on you. So that's a wild film to watch. Oh no, Helen Mirren's. I mean, just hey Tiffany, we can talk about Tiffany some more.
I mean, I know what it's about.
We didn't get enough of that last time.
I don't think I was. I don't think I was there for the whole Tiffany conversation. That's something else that you know. I mean, I know Tiffany, but like I don't know her. I know her enough. Okay.
She was so beautiful, Helen Mirren. Oh my God, her in Excalibur.
Who was it? Okay, I'd say somebody maybe her age, maybe not. I don't know. Diane Keaton.
No, Helen Mirren doesn't hold a candle to Diane Keaton.
See, I like Diane Keaton.
Anywho,
okay, so you take Helen Mirren and I'll take Diane Keaton, and then we'll call it even.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
all right.
no fighting.
Cool. Sounds
but
good.
But you do have to watch Excalibur.
Okay, I will. I'll do it.
What a great! I mean, that's just a great all around film. John Boorman. What a great film that was.
I'm sure it's great. I'm just not going to be salivating at Helen Mirren, but you know, I hope you don't mind.
You will when she's. You will.
You want to bet? She's not my type, Jeff. She's just not my type.
Yes, Catherine Zeta-Jones was quite the thing.
She's all right.
Rick Mayall, really? What?
Hmm?
Well, so anything else we need to talk about?
Nope. That pretty much covers it. What's coming up for you?
Everything's coming up roses.
Vices. Everything's coming up Vices.
He died 9 years ago. Huh. Did not know that.
Who?
One of the guys from The Young Ones. Great series. Anyway. Okay, folks. There we go. That's another weird ending to another weird chill Thursday stream. If anybody's got Selma Hayek in From Dusk Till Dawn, doing the snake dance on the table. Oh my God.
Now there we agree. I watched that when I was 8 years old, and
that's probably the reason you became bisexual.
It might have been. I mean, she might have been. You know, there are a couple of different women that I can point to from that era. I don't know who made me bisexual, but she might have been up there.
Nichelle Nichols was a hottie.
Yeah, she was, but I never really watched. I didn't watch Star Trek when I was younger.
Oh yeah, Selma Hayek is not even human. What was that show she was just in recently where she played herself? It was like
Black Mirror.
One of the Black Mirrors. Yeah, that was that. I mean, she's still just ridiculously hot.
Yeah, she looks great.
Some people just got the genes.
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly, roughly the same age. So my 18-year-old self. Oh my God! Thank you so much for doing that, dogs. Well, I have to be very careful here because the dogs have just knocked the plug out of my monitor.
Oh.
So I see nothing, and if I stand up, you'll see nothing too. So I have to kind of sneak off to the side here.
Okay. Be careful. Everybody avert your eyes.
Because, as we all know, pants are prison.
Okay, I'm going to be controversial again. I think Jennifer Connelly is annoying, and I saw her in Labyrinth, and I thought she was a terrible actress, and I liked her a little better as she got older. But she annoyed me a lot when I first encountered her. So
I was not paying attention much to her acting skills in that movie. She was super hot. And I was 18 then, so I can say she was super hot. She was 16. Now it's,
I'm just trying to annoy Boosh.
What's her face? The other one.
The other one.
See, now Jennifer Connelly, I think she looks better now. Like Snowpiercer, the Netflix show Snowpiercer. She looks gorgeous.
Haven't seen it.
Oh,
is it good?
Yeah. Oh, fuck. The hell? Are they coming to demolish your house?
That is the garbage truck.
Oh my god! I'm trying to think of the other girl's name. Not Jennifer Connelly. Mia Sarah in Legend. Oh, another hottie.
She was in more than one movie. I thought she was only ever in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
No, she was in Legend with Tom Cruise. She was wearing this black dress that was like V cut down to just below her navel. Time Cop. She was in Time Cop.
Very short career, but I guess she did a couple other things. Maybe I was mistaken.
I know she was in Time Cop. That was a bad movie. And that's kind of about the only thing I know is like Time Cop, Ferris Bueller, and Legend. Sure, she was in something else, but anyway, God, every time I'd want to turn this down, someone mentioned Sean Young, and Sean Young was always attractive, but she was just that attitude. Like her and Daryl Hannah, they got those reputations for being divas.
I like Daryl Hannah.
Phyllis Diller. That's it. We're out.
Wow.
Yeah,
there's nothing else after Phyllis Diller. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. Phoebe Cates in Fast Times. I mean, that every teenage boy had a moment there. You could always tell because the tracking would start to go out on the video, and you're like, now we know what scene's coming up there.
Oh,
many a video has been paused on that location. All right. Now Betty White was smoking like back in the 30s. She was a vamp.
Betty White.
In the 30s, like 100 years ago.
I'm just remembering something. No, it's not something that would make anybody else laugh.
Well, that's kind of like everything I say.
I have a memory that has to do with Betty White, and I cannot translate it into words that will make anybody laugh except for me.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm remembering it and I'm laughing at it. So anyway.
Oh yeah, Angela Lansbury was hot. Yeah, she was a gorgeous back in the 40s and 50s. Oh, yeah. She had like those big Betty Davis eyes, and anyway, damn it. I'm getting out of here. Everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being all here with us. Chandler, are you going to be streaming anytime soon over on your old channel?
Nope.
Okay,
no, I will be in the future. I announced this on Twitter. Like, I've just had stuff, like real world stuff to do that's like not internet-y stuff. And I miss YouTube, and I will be back, and hopefully like before the end of the month, but I might make my return in December. So you will see me before 2024 for sure. But
we miss you too.
Yeah, I know. I'll be around. I'll be on your stream tomorrow if I'm invited.
Yeah. Of course
if you haven't. Okay, just
Of course you are. Assuming
just
that I
checking.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I know I haven't been around as much, but I'm still around. So like I'll be around. Yeah. I will be back on my channel. I will be producing content. I have stuff coming up. And you will see me hopefully, by December. So
all right. Well, for me, tomorrow's fucking Friday, everybody, where we just grift for money. So everybody bring your piles and piles of cash and throw it at me. I think what we're going to be doing is that because it's Thanksgiving, we're going to be doing things wild turkey. We'll be doing different types of wild turkey. We'll be doing a higher quality wild turkey for the $100 shots and a lower tier wild turkey for the aggregate $100 shots. And I was thinking of doing something for, like, if someone was dumb enough to give me a $200 shot, like some really, really bad wild turkey or something. Anyway, I don't know, but we're going to have a good panel of guests. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. I've been kind of lax. Who said they will be there? Joe, Good Logic will be there. Hayden will be there. Chandler Remington will be there. Valhalla Awaits has invited himself and will be there. Chrissy Mayer will be there. Anna, that Star Wars girl, will be there. Jasmine Jafar will be there. And some other people. I just can't think. I haven't made the list. I usually update the list every day, but I just haven't had time. I've been busy. So, hey, check it out tomorrow. Flux is working, so sorry, Flux. All right. With that, thank you, mods, for being here for yet another OJ. Hang tight. We got 3 more weeks of OJ, and then we're on to something different. We'll be doing the entire trial, not just bits and pieces, because the other trial was only 20 days. So that'll be 3 or 4 months our time. Yeah, that's it. And Monday, we'll be doing a Maritime Monday. Next Tuesday, some more YNW Melly news, and we'll be good to go. Chat, you are the greatest chat ever. You are the Vice Squad chat. We love you to death. Thank you so much for the support. And thank you to Extremely Happy Simmer for all of the super generosity today and nearly a cable. Yeah, I'll get the cable. Trust me on that one. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Chandler, thank you very much for enjoying ramen with me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Everybody, enjoy your legal vices. We are saying goodbye.